Welcome to Grow Your Strength. This is week 2 of a 6-week program, and look forward to sharing it with you today. Take your time to find a comfortable breathing position. I'm going to go face up, just micro adjust the posture through the neck, shoulders, and hips. Once you settled in, just take some time to slow down your breath. Try to get a nice deep breath, and then as you exhale, just a slow release of the air, relaxing any tension you can become aware of into the floor. I'm going to take us on a transition into warming up the core in reverse tabletop. Taking some time to just bring the feet off the floor so the knees float over the hips. You can bring your arms up and anchor in your shoulders. You want to see what the curve of your back is. So if you have a big curve, you want to just teeter that down a little bit so you feel the activation of the muscles in the front of your body. Try to keep your feet, your hands, and your face relaxed and just continue with the deep breathing here. Now to increase the challenge, you can start to reach on a diagonal, taking the opposite arm and leg out, and turning your head and looking at the overhead hand. Return to the starting position and then re-teeter the back, the chin tuck, switch sides. So you're just going at your own pace, depending on how hard this is for you to maintain the posture and the breath. You can go 2 to 3 passes. You could make it even harder by holding the passes out for a longer period of time. And when you need a break, just pull those knees into your shoulders. Give yourself a little rest. You can roll side to side. One of the things you want to be mindful of is as you go for the reach on one side, that the opposite knee doesn't come up towards your shoulder, so you're not kind of bracing and stabilizing through the front of your hip. So try to have this awareness that your knees stay over your hips. Definitely makes it harder. We'll move from here into a little warm up of the knees and ankles. So if you use a stretch strap for that, just go ahead and grab that. I like to make sure that my posture is aligned as I work my knee flexion and extension. So that means my low back, my non-working leg is straight. If this doesn't feel good, you could certainly bend that knee. Let's see if you can do some of this work through the knee bends with that leg extended. Adjusting the posture and keeping the breath going. 3 to 5 full knee extensions, then holding the leg out in that position. Start to work the ankle. Check that your leg's straight. Open up the toes. Finding the end range of motion. And then turning the sole of the foot in and out. Different angles. Toes to the shin, toes to the roof. Swinging the foot through. Finish with some big circles. Trying to keep the legs still. I'm spreading my toes. And then go ahead and switch sides. Okay, resetting posture. If you're tight through the back side of your leg, you're going to have to back this leg off just a little bit to get full knee extension. You want to be holding the leg in the place, fully extended place or position as you start to transition into the ankle work. Okay, so not here. Doing this, back it off, find that place, and then same routine, spreading the toes. Sole of the foot in and out, and your slow circles. Coming out of your second side, don't let me rush you, just finish that off, and then we'll go into a side lying position for the hip cars. Think of this as a core exercise as you set yourself up, rolling this top hip forward a little bit, taking the top leg off, and just doing some deep breathing as you bring yourself around nice and slow, finding the hip mobilization that you kind of have control over, so you don't have to push your leg anywhere you don't have control. Feet are relaxed. A couple circles in each direction and then switch sides. As I kick back, I can really feel all of the muscles in my hip working. Good stuff. Okay, switching sides. This is a program last week, and I based it off of a fitness. I did a survey of public speaking on the relative cost of being weak versus being strong. And for some of the references and resources, I used Dr. Peter Attia's podcast, The Centenary Decathlon. What is it that you want to have the strength to do as you go through the decades to potentially live to 100? Because I said more than I thought I was going to. Half kneeling reaches. Okay, so we'll come up to half kneeling, level out the hips. I'm going to start with some pulses forward, and then after about 3 pulses forward, just getting into the front of the hip without arching the back, then you can add an overhead arm reach. So I'm just making sure that I'm stacked in my posture. Everything feels good. And then this down knee, you can either reach your fingertips, or a little bit more intense is to push the palm, sort of bend your wrist and push the heel of the hand up. Try to lengthen between the knee and the hand. Come back. So about 3 of those, just taking your time to sink into it and get some length. That looks great. And then the same idea out on an angle. You can do some pulses. A few with your heel closer perhaps. Get some work in your ankle and knee, and then a few further out. And then the reach. So some of the things from the Centenarian Decathlon are exercises that I currently program quite frequently, but some of them are a little bit more novel and new. So it got me thinking as I write new programs to make sure we have sort of this baseline standard of exercises. So it's been kind of fun to do that. Okay, switching sides. Same thing, level the hips. Take some pulses forward. Just take some time creating space through the front of the hip. It's going to improve the quality of all of your movements when you do squats and lunges. And then the reach. Nice length. Could be fingertips or heel of the hand. And then the same thing out on an angle. A few pulses with your heel a little closer. Tracking that knee right over the middle of the foot and then a few further away. And into the reaches. I'm going to take us from here to double bridges and then some clamshells. So if you've been following along and you do bridges with a loop band, you could put a loop band on now. If you are feeling fatigued, not really sure if the loop band works for you, you don't have a loop band, then you just do these exercises without the added resistance from that. So start with 10 double bridges. When I put the band on and I set myself up, I want to have my feet wide enough that when I'm pushing out, there's some resistance that comes right up through the hips. So you set yourself on your back, find that position of your feet, and bridge up, activating the hip muscles, finding the line between your knee, hip, and armpit. This isn't the line, this is too low. Any higher than this, you'd be into your back. That would be bad. So you want to just find what works for you. Chin tuck, everything's lined up here. Up, squeeze, down, release. Now pushing out into the band, you can go through a few repetitions for sure before you let yourself rest. Knees drift in for a second, reset, power away. So just be listening to the body, taking the time to do those adjustments every rep if you need to. We don't want to be putting stress onto the back. For the clamshells, it's what I call like a 1-in-1. So you roll to your side, feet are stacked, top hips rolled forward. Here's one external rotation, working hard to get the knee up, feet are relaxed. Then take the knee and foot off, go into internal rotation against the resistance, and then slowly come out of it. About 5 rounds of that. So knee and foot float off, rotate the leg inward. Breathe. If you find yourself holding your breath, it might be an indication that this exercise is too hard for you. So modify, take the band off. Don't go quite as full a range of motion. Play with it. Okay, switching sides. Top hips rolled forward, so I'm not rotating through my back. Feet are relaxed. Knee up, knee down, knee and foot come up, and then rotate. Excellent. Finishing this off, we'll go to single leg bridge. I'm going to take the band off for that. So this is a total of 15 single leg bridges, and this is from the decathlon. So 15 is a higher number than you might be used to doing. You could take it into sets of 5. I've been playing with then, 3 sets of 5 or do a set of 10 if you have the strength through the hip, no cramping through the hamstring. The goal is to get to 15 on one side. Again, taking that time to adjust the posture through the chin, through the low back, making sure you come up. Same principle, not too high. Should not be feeling this in your back. If you're actually watching this as a video, you're like, she's a terrible counter. She has no idea where she is. Following the program, trying to get up to 15 reps per side. Got to be able to laugh at yourself sometimes. Okay, finishing off the 15 reps. Give yourself a knee hug, a little roll side to side. That was a good amount of work through the hips. All right, so I'm going to take us to standing. We're going to go through some lateral lunges, a few body weight exercises, and then we'll load up some of the moves. So feet are wide, just taking some time to sink over to one side, come back up to standing, over to the other side. I'm getting a nice stretch through the long leg. As I come up, aligning my posture, sitting back. Maybe taking the feet in a smidge depending on your posture and working on some squats with the feet a little wider. Give yourself an opportunity to sink down 1 or 2 times. And if that doesn't feel right, then just adjust your feet. It's very individual. Feet can be straight, feet can be turned out, width can be more narrow, width can be wider. As you pull yourself down, you want to keep your back stable. Transition to some hip hinges. Slide the hands down the thighs, sit the hips back, and then stand back up to posture. Open the hands at the top as that was a nice little add. About 5 of these. And then one more we'll do is the reverse lunge with a reach. So if I step back with my right foot, I'm going to take my right hand overhead, and then I'm going to switch. Step back left. As you reach and drop the knee, feel the length through this whole line, front of the hip, armpit, right up to your fingers. Okay, after you've done a few per side, we'll add one more thing. So as you step back, drop the back knee, rotate to the front leg to get a little stretch through your hip flexors. Back up, rotate. Just to wherever you can control, whatever depth. Doesn't have to be super deep. You can just tap your foot back and still do this exercise, or you can drop the back knee even more. Okay, finishing off those, we'll just do a little bit of work on balance. So I'm just opening up my toes and trying to connect with the floor. And today, last week I did a 30-second balance test with the eyes open and 15 seconds with eyes closed. So I'm just going to add to the challenges today. So for 30 seconds, when I start the timer, we'll go here. Okay, you're going to take your back foot off. And I'd like you to look to the left and to the right. So this time you're moving your head to the left and the right. Okay, so here we go. Onto one foot. Take the back foot off. And for 30 seconds, you're going to challenge yourself moving your head to the left and to the right. You can find something to focus on as you turn. That might actually make it a little easier. If you need to tap down or this is too challenging for you, just lightly put your back toe on the floor. Almost there. 5 more seconds. And there we go. So take some time, connect the other foot, and I'll start us for another 30 seconds. Same drill. And here we go. Turning and looking. What's going on with your foot and your ankle, knee, hip. Feel all those little micro movements as you try to stay upright in posture. Nice deep breathing. We're adding a task to the balance, moving the head. Last 5 seconds. Excellent. Okay, now for this one, you're going to go 1, 2, 3 and stomp, and then stomp. You want to have some increased ground reaction force, so think about a heavy landing. And then this is the drill. If you feel comfortable, when you stomp, close your eyes for a moment and then open as you switch. So now eyes closed. And we'll do this for the next 20 seconds. So now I'm adding a little bit of eyes closed work. Just a quick blink, longer if you feel comfortable. Last 5 seconds. And last rep. Good stuff. Okay, so that's the balance drill. Curtsy lunges is next with load, if you like. So I'm going to take some dumbbells. I'll hold the dumbbells at the waist for my first set. A little harder would be weight at the shoulder. So you choose. We're alternating sides, coming back up to posture, over the other side. 5 reps or so. Back up. Pull yourself down. Looks good, everyone. Keep going. Finish off your 5 reps per side. Try not to go too fast. Next up, I'm going to go to a squat. Now for the squat, load it up. You could keep the same weights, but maybe you need to adjust down. It's up to you. I'm going to take the same weights. I'm going to pull myself into my loaded squat, up to 8 of these per side. If you feel like you want to go with different weights, lighter or heavier, please feel free to switch that out. Good. Squats look good. Pull yourself down, breathe in, push the floor away, exhale, get tall. Okay, balancing single leg with a weight as an option is next. So I'm going to go right into holding a weight between my hands. Find my posture on one foot and do a hinge into this single leg. If holding the weight feels too hard, put the weight down, and you can do this with just body weight and counterbalance with your arms a little bit forward. With the weight goes down about 5 reps per side. This one takes a lot of motor control, a lot of connection. So just take your time. Breathing in as you hinge is going to help you. Exhale as you come up. So we use that intra-abdominal pressure that's created by the inhale to help stabilize through the pelvis for your balance. Back up, nice and tall. Okay, we'll be doing this exercise again. So just kind of note to self, is the weight you're using the right weight for about 5 hinges per side? Or do you need to go up and down for the second set? Let's go back to the curtsy lunge. Don't forget to grab a little water. Okay, got my weights, and here I go. I was training my son the other day, and I was saying to him, okay, well, 8 to 10 reps, 8 to 12 reps, or, 4 to 6 reps. I was giving him these rep ranges. And he's like, Mom, just tell me how many you want me to do. And I'm like, no. The new science is that, you listen to your body, intuitively. I don't know how hard that weight feels for you. Only you know that. I was trying to explain all this mumbo jumbo that I give you guys. And he's just kind of like, how many reps do you want me to do? Like, it couldn't sink in. It didn't quite get there. Anyway, kids these days, or young adults these days. Here's the squats. You'll never think of that rep range the same again. Inhale down, exhale up, right? This is your chance to load your body. We know we need to be loading for health and wellness. Go to a depth you can control. Don't hurt yourself. About 8 reps. Good. Taking some time now to go back to the single leg hinges. The weight I had felt right for me today. Connecting with my foot, spread my toes. As I hinge, I want to make sure I have a slight bend in this base leg knee. So locking out the knees, Not a good idea. So if that's your sort of movement habit, try to become aware of it and change that. Looking good. Got a full 5 in, switching sides. If you come out of this before me, we're going to head back to the floor for some cat-cow. You can work on your back. Okay, so fundamental movement for your back, flexion and extension. Do not push extremes, but take some time to move through your whole spine, from your low back up through that sort of nobody's land, shoulder blades. Let the head be heavy. Then slowly reverse that. I'm dropping my front side down through my low back, dropping the chest, moving the shoulder blades together gently, and looking up, not moving too fast through the neck. After a few cycles of the cat-cow, we'll go to work on push-up variations. So if you have a push-up plank hold on the floor, you can stay down here and set the hands, set yourself into your high arm plank. If you work off the wall, then you'll pop up to the wall, and I'll show that as a variation in a moment. So you can do a slow lower, put a pillow under your front side. The idea in my coaching with this is that you're always just wanting to find a progression. So if you're up at the wall, feet could be a little further back as a progression, pulling yourself in, hips are activated, push away. Doing a push-up is 55% of your body weight. We'll go back to cat-cow and then do one more set of push-ups. So this is why push-ups can, like good push-ups on the floor, can be a very difficult exercise to train. Once you bring the strength training and the practice together and you get a good solid push-up, you can build on that more easily than I think achieving the first push-up. The lowering phase is important. So after a few more cycles of cat-cow, return to your push-up position. So the lowering phase, this is what I mean. Just simply lowering, right? You could put a pillow underneath your front side to help catch you. Bend your knees, come back up. Spread the fingers. Don't just take the weight in the wrists. If you're doing the full push-up, you're working the shoulder blades together as you lower and pushing the floor away, separating the shoulder blades as you come back up. Okay, we want to have push-ups in our repertoire for the decades ahead. Okay, so I'm going to change this up to carry. And in this, I'm wanting, if you have it to you available, equal weights in both sides. So if you have double kettlebells, if you have 2 heavy dumbbells, we're going to pick up the weights and just do small steps forward and back for 30 seconds. If you do not have weights that challenge you enough in your home environment, I challenge you to get some heavier weights. So I'm going to pick up the weights. Everybody looks ready. And for 30 seconds, we're going to be holding these weights and just taking small steps back and forward. Timer's on. Tall posture. Can't be hunched over with good strong weights. Don't let the weights pull your shoulders down, so get tall. Activate through the shoulders. Try not to over grip. About 5 more seconds. And make sure that you pick up and put down the weights in a hinge so my hips go back. Take a breath in. Now I'm taking a ball for some shoulder cars. Feet are going to be side by side. I'm going to slowly work my shoulder mobility, squeezing the ball. If you don't have a ball, just make a fist. As you come up, watch that you're not arching your back. So stay connected through the rib cage. You're not rotating. This is all about your shoulder. Take the hand up into the small of the back. Feel free to add a little neck mobility, turning, ear tilts, and then rewind. We're just doing this one time per side. Breathing, floating my weight over my feet, optimizing my shoulder range of motion. Looks great. So in the centenarian decathlon, Dr. Attia says for women, 25% of your body weight in each hand, holding for a minute. So not moving. We did a little bit of movement for 30 seconds. Men, up to 50%. So that's a lot. And in the home environment, you might have to get creative, not only maybe ordering some more weights, but building up to grocery bags, recycle bags with things that you're not using too much, some heavy books, some tools, and start to gradually add weight till you get to 25% of your body weight in each hand. So let's go ahead and do that one more time. So finding the weights, picking them up, taking a couple steps. Looking straight ahead. Floating through your feet just a little bit. Ten more seconds. Carefully putting the weights down. Bicep curl and overhead press is next. So depending on what weights you have available to you, find something that you can do a bicep curl with, then you can open and press away. I find myself saying, don't make it too easy, don't make it too hard. If you do a set and you're like, this is actually pretty easy, I should have picked heavier weights, you can change them out, but you can also just work on your range and your control, pushing the floor away. I have lots of control, so maybe I can go a little wider, pulling my elbows down, changing the angle of my bicep curl. Could bring it across, right? I could even bring it out, then open, push away. So you can modify based on your control and how much demand you're putting through. I'm going to start saying my son's rep range. Staggered, bent over row, and tricep extension. So here's one-sided. Weight is in the right. Right leg back. There's the row, and there's the tricep extension. So I'm just adding elbow to the side, and then kick back with the hand. Adding the tricep extension to the row makes it harder, but also you probably can row more weight than you can do the tricep extension. So knowing that, you might want to adjust the weights, 6, 8, 10 reps, and away you go. Whatever rep range you do, just match it on side 2. I feel like it could just be a little bit more bent over, Shirley. Like just see how I'm kind of hinged over there. So I've got the row and then the kick back. There you go. That's better. You want to make sure your back feels okay in this position, that you're not putting any pressure in through your neck. Okay, now I'll go through the 1, 2, 3 freeze with load. So we did this as a little bit of the balance warm up, but we'll do it again. Now I'm going to take dumbbells in each hand. So when I do my stomp, I'm actually adding 20 pounds more weight. Okay, been reading a little bit of tidbits in emails and research about how the stomp and the jump is so good for our bone density. So we want to be able to do that. Load up. If you feel confident with what you're doing, you can add that blink again. Make sure you stay safe. 15 more seconds. Any angle goes. I like what I'm seeing. Good. Okay. Rest if you need it. Water up. I'll take us back through the bicep curl and overhead press. So here we go. Bicep curl, overhead press. Watch the posture. You're not leaning back. This is common, right? Here, lean back to press. So keep the weight over the feet. Push the floor away. Pull back down. Nice. You're in charge of your rep range. Wake up all those muscles in the upper body with the load. Okay, and then into your hinge position, a row, and a tricep extension. Keep track of your reps. I went up one dumbbell in weight, makes a big difference. I want to pay attention to my form, to my breath, make sure everything feels okay. I'm controlling the weight as opposed to the weight controlling me. Good. Good positions, everyone. So I'm going to finish today with some work on the get up practice. If you know the get up, please just go ahead and start doing a get up, loaded, body weight, whatever you wish. As far as the centenarian decathlon goes, getting up and down off the floor using no hands or one point of contact is what's listed. I personally feel I couldn't put something like the get up in there because it takes a little bit of time to learn, right? And there's some safety concerns. You guys that are taking this class with me over time, learn the get up practice. And you never want to lose the ability to get up and down from the floor. This is way more effective. As I go through a body weight get up, I'll talk through and watch you guys as well. But like I'm getting shoulder connection. I've set my core. Arm and leg are out on an angle. Take a breath and roll to my elbow. So here's my shoulder stability, right? Up. Nice tall sitting position. Take load through your hand and foot. Bring your knee through. I'm looking up at my hand. And then as I hinge and come to half kneeling, I look forward. Adjust my feet, stand up. Big step back. You always step back with the foot opposite to the hand in the air. Try to control your lower, soft knee. Open up the front foot. Hinge down. I've spread my fingers and I'm taking my load right through my down hand, shoulder, and foot as I kick through to my hip, down to my elbow, all the way down to the floor. So you have the get up. So this is something that I feel is worthy of almost a daily practice, even if it's body weight, every day. Once you learn the get up, you have it memorized. You can do both sides easily in under 2 minutes. That's slow. People who do fast get-ups, a minute and a half. So you start doing one of these every day before you have a shower, that kind of thing. All right, so coming onto the floor, let's do one more set of our reverse tabletop reaches and then one more get up before we say goodbye. So here we go. Back to the first exercise in the class. I set my back, my feet are off the floor, knees over the hips. You're breathing deep and maintaining this posture as you go through your diagonal reaches. Take some time, look at your fingers. Don't feel like you have to go that far. Even holding this position, if your core isn't that strong, is worthy of your time. Okay, it can just be little reaches. You can go a little wider. Knee hug to rest. And then I'll go through one more get up. There's no such thing as a perfect get up. we practice. We're on our way. If you have a big arch in your back, you don't want to start that way. So you want to close the arch down by pressing the mid to low back to the floor. A nice easy roll to the elbow. Breathe your way through it. Take your time. Nice, lunging up nice and strong through the legs. Love it. Looks great, Jody. Get back, get control. Nice, Shelly. You're there. Atta girl. Down the way to the floor. If the lunge off the floor proves to be problematic, you can do the get up, adjust yourself with a chair nearby, so you could use the assistance of a chair for a little while. There's lots of progressions, little helpers. I was going to call them hacks, but more like helpers to get us here. So if you're having trouble from this position off the floor, have a chair nearby. Don't overuse the chair, but it's there to just help you come to standing. And it's also there as a safety for when you lower yourself down. Okay, we'll finish with a 90-90 stretch. Coming down all the way to the floor. Taking some time to come into the 90-90 position. Sinking the front torso towards your knee, angling it towards your foot. Even pressing into the floor a little with your front leg as you reach and hinge forward. Really increase the stretch response through the hip. Working the back leg, if I pop down to my elbow, now I'm trying to just find the range of motion through my back hip by lifting my foot off the floor. Trying to keep my feet relaxed. The work comes from in here. So yes, this is also a core exercise, even though I'm looking at hip mobility. Taking some time to come over to the other side. We'll finish that off before we say goodbye. So 90-90, angling, maybe pressing your front leg into the floor a little bit. Down to the elbow. Find the internal rotation of the back hip. Reminder to keep the feet relaxed. Keep the breath going. I want to thank you for building a stronger version of yourself with me today.